Hello, I'm Paul.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Ben.
And welcome to FilmBusters.
Yes, good evening.
It's not evening yet, it's afternoon.
FilmBusters.
Right, everyone, welcome back to FilmBusters. We are recording today for Midsommar.
Midsommar. We are in Midsommar now.
Yes.
Not the place, just
very apt.
Time of year.
Yes. This one has taken a little while to come out, but here we go.
I'm actually very excited to hear both your opinion because it's a very it's a film that could either be very good for someone or very bad. I feel. I don't think it's like an average film.
I don't feel like there's a middle ground. No, I don't think so.
No.
Although I can see some people doing that. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a bit. But I can see some people sitting in the middle.
Yes, indeed.
Sitting on that little fence.
Johnny come latelys. But first, of course,
we do the staple of each episode, which is our lovely quiz. We do a quiz every episode. I ask Adam and Ben 2 questions. If they get it right, they get a point. If they get it wrong, I get the point. So far, Ben is on 8, Adam is on 5, and I am on 7.
So
I need to win this.
You do. You did very well last time, though, Adam. You got both questions correct.
Both questions, well done.
You were hot off the mark.
So, do you want to go straight into the first question?
What else are we going to do?
Now, Adam, you remember what you have to remember for the first question. Every time I ask the first question. All right, here we go. I think we know the answer already.
The first question is the tagline of a film. So,
I've already got 2 answers lined up before you even said it.
Every family tree hides a secret.
Hereditary. Well, we tied. We tied, eh?
No, I was well ahead of you.
We tied. No, we didn't. You got to ask another question, Paul.
Okay, shall I just go to my second question?
Why don't you
but then you're going to need a third.
Okay, I'll think of a third one. Okay. A Quiet Place was originally meant as a sequel to what film?
Hush.
Wrong.
A sequel?
Yeah. A Quiet Place was originally meant as a sequel to what film?
Fuck, I don't know. Hereditary?
No. It's Cloverfield. It was supposed to be a Cloverfield film.
Was it?
Yeah. I swear every horror film at some point was like, this was supposed to be a Cloverfield film at some point.
Cloverfield, the first, was rubbish.
Cloverfield Lane was okay.
I haven't seen any of the other ones. I wasn't suckered in by the first one, so I didn't see the point. Anyway, that's a point for Paul.
Yeah, it's a point for me.
What does that mean? You're on 8.
I'm on 8, yes.
Tied with me.
That's beautiful, isn't it? Are you scared?
It is. Well, playing tactically now, I want Adam to get this.
I've got another tagline for you, and it is a tagline and a half.
Come on.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Something almost beyond comprehension is happening to a girl on this street, in this house, and a man has been sent for a last resort.
What?
This is a
The
tagline.
Exorcist.
Yes!
Oh my god!
Well done, Adam.
I was going to say Nightmare on Elm Street, but then I thought, that can't possibly be right. But yeah, it's the only thing I could possibly think of.
Good, Adam.
That's such a prescriptive tagline. It's like really factual. It's not even
actually
attempting to
describes the
sell
film.
the movie. Yeah. And a
Adam,
man
you're on
has been
6.
sent to deal with the situation.
I'm on 6. Sweet. That means if I
That's
win the
good.
next 2, we're all even.
Look at that. Now there's everything to play for in the next
Yes. It's getting very exciting.
That's if we ever make another one.
pod. Why'd you say this?
We might get cancelled by the network.
Jesus. Has he got plans?
The Paul network.
So, should we go straight to the main event?
The main event.
I can't wait to hear what you boys thought.
The main event. Here is our featured topic. Plus, Adam might do a rubbish plot summary.
Are you fucking serious?
I really cannot gauge where your heads will be at with this film.
I know. Likewise. Likewise.
So, let me
Let's
just
go.
say up front, this is a review of the film Midsommar. It is a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen the film, then we will be spoiling it for you. But, who cares? Because you shouldn't be listening to this anyway, because why did you click on it? It says Midsommar spoilers in the actual title, so...
Oh,
bit of an idiot.
Correct.
But, Adam, would you like to explain the plot?
All right, so this plot is basically this girl, her parents die, they get killed by her sister, and her boyfriend feels sorry for her, so he invites her along with his friends.
Does he?
On a trip to Sweden, even though he doesn't really, but he does. So she ends up going to Sweden with him and end up joining a cult. And yeah, basically don't get in a relationship or don't trust white people. You can take that bit out.
No,
I'm keeping it in, son.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
happy with
the
that.
film.
Well done, Adam.
Well done.
Lovely.
Good summary.
I'm interested in hearing
Okay.
Adam's first.
So
Me too.
I'm gonna go. I'll go first. I don't think I haven't given my review first in a while. I'm gonna give this film a 6.
Okay.
You've given
Wow.
this film a 6, did you say?
Yes.
Okay.
What
Okay.
about you, Ben?
Interesting.
I'm giving this film my very first 10 out of 10.
Whoa! Jesus Christ!
Really?
Oh, really?
Fuck. Okay.
What's Paul
That
done?
is this is a special day. This is a special day.
Yep.
This film is definitely something. There's a lot of stuff going on. So much so that I was enjoying it most of the way through, and I gave it 8 out of 10.
Well, look at that split.
This is a very divisive one, it seems.
All right, I'm gonna go
This is a
first.
very
then.
divisive one. Go on then.
The first 40 minutes of this film were very interesting. It got me. I was really interested. I was really enjoying it, and then it just lost me. It went on for too long. Every scene was too long. It didn't build up any tension. It didn't really, and it didn't lead to anywhere. The
No,
only thing that
I
has
totally
saved
agree
this
with that.
film
Carry
for
on.
me was how well it was shot. Number one, like some of the camera shots were brilliant, and it was really well edited, and it was really well made. But the actual film, the actual inside of the film, I found it very boring, and I lost interest.
That's been the main complaint I've seen people saying who didn't like it. They said that
It was
too
about
long.
the scene. It was
Yeah.
the scene where they all jumped off they were jumping off the just before they were jumping off the the cliff. That whole build up to her jumping off took way too long. There was so
No,
many
it wasn't.
long
It was-
shots.
It's so surreal and like what is actually happening, and I could kind of feel like, okay, this is leading to them killing themselves.
Well,
I
yeah,
could
you
kind
knew
of
that, and
feel it coming.
everything. The whole film, even the end of the film, it was about an hour too long. This film,
I was never bored.
I was bored for the last hour of the film.
The last hour.
Come on, Ben, speak, please. Come on,
Yeah.
Ben, come on, 10 out of 10, please speak.
I'm holding off for this boy to run rings around himself with his own foolish words. Can I say, Adam, honest to God, right? And I checked this on Letterboxd. I went back through all the films that have been released
Yeah,
in backwards in the years and looked at the other 10s I gave. And this is the best film that I have seen since 2014.
Wow.
really.
There literally has not been a film since Interstellar in 2014 that I
Very
I
good.
thought has been released that was as good as this. That's how impactful it was for me, mate. Boring? It wasn't. This is the thing. Just because something is slow moving doesn't make it boring. You know.
It was.
Okay. It's boring in what way? What didn't connect with you?
I just did not give a shit about anything that was happening.
So tell me how you could call this boring because of its slow movements and build up, and say that The Shining isn't. The Shining isn't boring, but The Shining
I was
is
interested.
exactly
I was
the same,
invested
mate.
in that. That had me gripped and interested the whole way through. This, I just lost interest.
Mate, immediately. Oh my god.
You got Jack Nicholson in, that's why, Adam.
That's why he doesn't
It
want to
almost makes
follow a
me the
female
yeah.
lead.
No, it doesn't. The acting was like they were just. They put them in a situation for too long. It's just like, let's come on. This is a
What
horror
are you
film.
talking about? No,
It's
yeah,
just-
but see, this is the thing. What were you expecting? This is what you would have liked, eh? You would have liked for the cult to have come out with machetes, whatnot, within about 20 minutes of being there, and have
No.
them all sliced
It
up,
was never
left,
that
right,
type
and
of film. It's
centre.
more of a psychological thriller. Let's say.
I know, but you would have liked it to be that type of film.
It'd have been
and
fucking
you
more
were
interesting to
messed up.
watch.
No, it wouldn't have. It would have been shit, mate. From the very beginning, right? Those first 10 minutes, they are so brutal. So fucking brutal when she's like
Yeah,
waiting for that
I
email from her
loved all of
sister, and then
that.
you find out what's
Yeah.
happening. It's like, oh my god, that's insane.
That had me.
Scream is
I was
horrible.
really interested.
It
When
was
she was
horrible,
screaming on
yeah.
the sofa, that was brilliant. Like that whole opening bit was so good, and
But then the way
was
it rolled, then the way
quite
it rolled.
funny, and then I just was like, this isn't really going anywhere now. And I lost interested, and then the ending was just fucking what was that, and then
Okay, so we'll talk about the ending later, right? Fucking don't focus on the ending at this point, right? I don't
Talk about it as a whole, I think, to start off with, because it's probably the best way to approach.
If you wrote this script down and I read it, like the plot and everything that happened, I'd have thought, what a great film. Like, I'm really interested in that. But it was just didn't translate. That film didn't translate to what that is.
I feel like saying this film's boring is not correct, because you say nothing's happening and it's slow, but this slow moving film where nothing feels like it's happening, everything is happening. If you look
Constantly.
closely at actually what's happening in the background, and I read a thing that I didn't even realise. Do you remember you see that like the tapestry of someone trying to seduce someone else, and they're putting
Yeah,
like
and
the
they get
pubes in
married
the
or
pie,
whatever.
and
That's
the
everything
pubes-
that then happens in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the menstrual blood in the drink, and you
Yeah,
see
that's why his was
you
red
see
and
the menstrual
the rest-
blood in his drink, and everyone else's is an orange coloured drink, and he's got a red
Yeah.
coloured drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
I saw all of that.
Christ.
It's like, the fuck?
No, it's
Yeah, but look,
really well done. This was like a crazy experience. This film.
There was one part, do you know the part where he was having sex with that girl, and then the woman comes over and touches his hand? Did anyone laugh at that? Because everyone in our cinema laughed.
Yeah, people were laughing constantly in mine. I was with a very annoying crowd, but that's even more to this film's credit that I was able to enjoy it so much.
I didn't laugh.
Everyone laughed at it. And
I
thought it was
laughed at a
funny
couple
as
of
well.
bits, but I didn't laugh at that
But
sex
it was
bit.
genuinely funny. Like, Will Porter's character was genuinely a funny character.
Yeah, but he was also a bit annoying. Basically, Will
I knew you hate
Porter
him. I
was
knew you
you,
hate him.
Adam. Yeah.
I knew that. I was going to say this guy's funny, and Ben, look, that's exactly what you would be like.
If there was one bad thing, if I was thinking about this before the pod, and I was thinking, if there was one bad thing about this film, what would it be? It was Will Porter's character, and not his acting, because I like his
I
acting.
thought he brought a comic relief into the film that was quite needed. Sometimes.
There was no comic relief from him.
Well, even when he was lying down and he thought it was like not 9 o'clock.
The only bit that was funny from Will Porter was when he was really high, and he didn't want the other person to come. And he was like, I can't deal with a new person in this
Yeah,
situation.
Yes, that was the funny bit, and the man walked past. That was funny.
That was like
funny.
Grinspoon.
But I thought that whole bit was quite a little bit awkward from him. I didn't
So
feel
I was
like
still
felt
interested,
really
still
uncomfortable.
interested, and then it just lost me.
Okay, can I just say, right, the thing as a whole, right, of this film, why I loved it so much, why it's a 10 out of 10 film, is because, first of all, you got a female protagonist who was so fucking well written and was relatable to me. An early 20s female protagonist that is relatable to a mid-30s male.
Okay.
Right? Her reaction to everything from what was happening with her family early on to what happened with the cult once they got out to Sweden was so believable.
Yeah, it was. I'm not saying it wasn't. This is why I'm still
Right.
giving this film a good rating.
Mate, 6 is not a good rating.
No, that's not a good rating.
It would, because these are the parts that gave the rating. If it wasn't for that, I'd give it like a 1.
But anyway,
Oh, Jesus.
I know.
I generally did not enjoy my experience towards the end of this film. I was like, this is
But
just...
that's fine. And listen, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying I strongly disagree with you. I had a completely different experience with the whole film. The way that they dealt with like really traumatic horror of like grief, and then mixed it up with like humour, and then made it so fucking absurd by the end. You're meant to think it's absurd at the end. It's meant to be absurd. But for me, it worked. It was kind of like, I don't know if you've seen The Village, Adam, but it was kind of like The Village, but much better.
Again, I
in many ways.
hated it.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, okay. So maybe you don't like anything set in woods and fields. Didn't you think she was incredible?
Yeah, she
as
was
a
well
leading
acted.
woman?
She was great.
Oh, man. What's her name? Florence Puff
Florence
or Pug?
Pugh. Is it
Pube? Pube. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Pube Pie.
But it was like, there was such well shot parts of it. There was such well edited parts. The way the film flowed at the beginning, and then it kind of just lost it all. And I reckon if I wasn't at the cinema, I'd probably left.
The editing in this film was amazing. The basically the hallucinogenic feel of the whole film.
Yeah.
The way the background was moving, and you see
Yeah.
the flowers moving.
Very
on the
subtly
heads.
moving. Yeah,
Yeah,
so well
mental.
done. So well
Yeah.
done. I was even questioning my eyes in the cinema.
When the bit that got me the most was when she was wearing that crown, and then the flower was pulsing.
Yeah.
You could just say every so often your eyes would just clock it. It was
Yeah.
good, but the film itself just was let down. There were so many, I don't know.
But
Yeah.
wait, so the thing that worked well, right, is we all knew going into this film. I knew very little about the film, to be honest with you, but we all knew.
I think I saw a trailer once.
Yeah, me too, and I think that was it. That once they got out to Sweden, once they were with this commune, something bad was going to happen. That's kind of all we knew from it.
They were going to get sucked into. As soon as they were like, they only let people in 90
But now,
years. And
what was interesting, right? Rather than face value, what would have been shit, but what you would have probably enjoyed more, is if the community. I sound really condescending, and I am being so.
You always are.
That the community were just going to take out weapons and start massacring the group and whatnot and torturing them. But actually, if you look at it, the community didn't do anything that was out of normal for a community that is trying to live and survive and thrive and love one another, right? As a family should. And that's what I liked. I liked that this was a larger family that she needed because she'd fucking lost hers. And what she found by the end was a family who accepted her through her grief in her situation, because they accepted that death was a way of life and that it was better for those people to throw themselves off the cliffs. The people who threw themselves off the cliffs wanted it. They didn't want to die in a nursing home. They find it inhumane that they should die in a nursing
72
home.
and then...
Yeah, everyone who died in this film died for a reason, apart from the Londoners. But the Londoners were gonna breach the community's secret, so they had to go. But nobody else died in this film, like, unwarranted. Nobody was
Do you know what I
innocent.
think they should have looked at more? Is the Swedish guy like scouting his friends? And do you also think that the Swedish guy killed her parents?
No,
And it wasn't the daughter.
no.
Because this is what I was thinking at one point. It's like, did he do that so she would then he would kind of try and set up these chain events, and then she'd end up coming? Because there was no reason that she was going to come unless that happened.
Yeah, but
And he
I don't.
wanted her
But a
there.
year had passed, mate. I don't feel that way at all. It's much.
No.
It wouldn't. That doesn't make sense either.
He was there kind of to scout the perfect people, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't.
Rather
She only came by accident. And
Yeah,
yet
that's
she
true.
was meant to come.
Did anyone notice at the beginning as well the massive poster that she has in her bedroom of a big, massive bear like in front of a little girl?
Bowing down to a little girl. Yeah, there was
Yeah,
loads of artwork in this thing.
There was another poster she had from a film. I can't remember what the film. I saw that one.
The thing is, that's what I'm saying. I want to talk about the cult. Let's discuss, because they
I think
it
it's
walks.
so interesting.
Yeah, they walk
It's
a very
what I mean,
interesting
It could have
line.
been so interesting, but it just went on. It just lost me. That's what I'm saying. This film could have been interesting for me personally, and I think the storyline would have been interesting, but the film itself just lost me.
But then, okay, tell me why. What was it? What
It was
what
just
didn't grip
so
you?
drawn out, and by the end, I didn't care what was happening to anyone.
That's madness. I didn't find it drawn out at all. What it felt like was that you'd actually spent some time in Sweden with that family, with that group. Didn't you? Like, by the end of the film, it felt like you'd actually been there for a while. If it had been a 90-minute,
'cause I
2-hour
wanted to
film, that'd have
fucking
been too
leave.
quick. Oh, mate.
It was very believable the way they brought this community and pushed it upon you, and all their beliefs and everything. It felt like very real. It didn't feel like, oh, this is a bit silly now. It's like, this is actually what they believe, and this is what's happening. The whole scene of them, the two people jumping off the cliff, that was absolutely like amazing.
Absolutely
that was
amazing.
Absolutely amazing story, and it makes sense.
And the
all their
gore in
mythology
that
makes
was
sense.
incredible.
Yeah, when he jumped,
Incredible.
when he broke his leg, that was like, alright, that was quite.
But
And
her
the
face,
fa-
when
the fact
she...
you see it was brilliant.
I know, and you see it multiple times as well.
And him jumping and actually you see them hit the ground. That is brutal, and it's like I'm watching something watching something real play out in front of my eyes right now. It's so realistic.
It's so realistic. When she landed on the rock and her face
Bounced
was like
off it.
imploded and bounced back, I'm like, oh! I was like, ouch! I felt that pain as well, man. I mean, it's honestly, Adam, I fucking loved every minute of this. I didn't feel bored for a second. I cannot wait to... I actually really want to go out and see this again at a cinema.
All the tiny little details in this film that
I
are
feel like there were
so
loads.
mystifying, and you think, what is actually going on? Like the guy who walks in with Will Poulter's face and is like, "You're not Mark," and it's like, you don't even address that again. It's like, this is just mental.
That was a pretty good bit when she bonked him on the head. I was like, that kind of actually made me jump as well. That was a bit of a...
That was the person with the deformity that was dressed up
Yeah.
as Mark, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was
And I like the
set to
fact that
music.
that person with the deformity didn't turn out to be like the main monster or something, you know? Like, it was just
No.
it was the result of inbreeding. There you go.
The great thing about this is it. We're laying out in front of you. We're not going to explain things too much. It's just you like try and put all the pieces together yourself.
Yeah.
Because these people are just experiencing this cult in front of their eyes. They're not being taught the ways of the cult. It's just happening, and it was great. I really enjoyed it. It just makes it even more mystifying and even more like, what the hell is going on right now? And it was good, really good.
Yeah. So, Paul, why did you give it an 8 then? Because before we said you're either going to love this film or you'll hate this film, and an 8's kind of in the middle.
No, an 8 is a good...
8's a good score.
Good score for a film. It's strong.
Okay.
Just little parts. Like, I'd say that Will Poulter character, he probably brought the film down for me. I was so close to giving it a 9, but because I was on that little boundary between an 8 and a 9, I just thought, no, I'm going to have to give it an 8.
Always got to go down.
Basically,
it's true.
When I give a score a 9 or a 10, I'm pretty much saying this film is pretty much perfect. Obviously, it's a 10. The bridge between a 9 and a 10 is I have to feel something real, like, strong for this film. It's either, I don't know what it is. It's something like in my soul. I've got to feel it. Like, I love this film so much, and it didn't have that for me, but it was a great film. But yeah, the Will Poulter character, he's what brought it down for me.
Yeah, but he was like, I feel like there was a little of him enough for it to be okay. I was very glad when he pissed on the ancestors tree because I knew that meant he was about to die very soon.
Yes.
And also, what do we think of this whole thing of it being billed as a breakup movie, a revenge breakup movie?
I don't think it was because it was
it is.
Yeah, but it was. But the film itself wasn't built on a breakup. It was the only reason that I think she burnt him was because he got drugged up and taken with the cult to breed with one of their people. And
she burnt him because he was a fucking piece of shit boyfriend who, from the moment her sister and parents died, was so consumed with himself throughout everything. He was he was the worst kind of boyfriend because he the best thing he could have done would have been to have just dumped her after a month or 2 months. It would have hurt, but at least it would have fucked off. The worst thing he did was keep her around, stay in her life, invite her along to Sweden and shit, but not really be there for her. And that's why at the end she sacrificed him. She needed to sacrifice him and drop him out of things.
Yeah, she was just stringing him along, really, wasn't he?
That smile at the end, she was glad. It was like revenge. It was the ultimate revenge.
Yeah, like even from the beginning where he wanted to go to a party instead of spending time with her and stuff like that.
I know.
Why was she being sick? Like, she wanted him...
Because, mate, regardless of how you feel about someone, in an angry moment you might wish them dead, but if they suddenly burn alive in front of you with 10 other people, how are you going to react?
I feel like as well she was still drugged up at that point as well.
She was, of course,
toxic. But
that smile at the end.
Yeah. Very good. I would definitely want to watch this film again because it might be a totally different experience watching the second time. It deserves a second watch, 100%, this film.
This is the best horror film of the 21st century. I 100% believe that.
See, I would say Us is.
No, see, okay, now for me, this was... I like Jordan Peele and I like Us, but this was so much better. Much more sophisticated, I thought. Us had far too many loose ends, things that didn't match up, and things that were like, but if that happened, then what was that about, and what does this mean? This felt a lot more thought out, and what I liked about it was because it was so long, it gave them so much time to put some real thought and effort into it. It felt like the sort of effort and time you would give to a really long drama as well. But the fact that they give it to what's a horror film, and it's not a traditional horror film, I know, paid off for me.
It was a very mental, surreal, and very rewarding experience. I loved it.
Truly loved it.
Yeah,
I was just disappointed because I enjoyed the beginning so much, and then it just...
So what point ruined it for you?
I can't remember the exact point. I remember it being around the people jumping off the cliff, but that
was brilliant. Why would it be round the?
I think it was just that it took so long for it to happen. It's like, you know what's happening here. Just move on.
Yeah, but I didn't know what was happening there until they climbed to the top of the cliff. Once they were at the cliff, then I knew what was happening.
Yeah, exactly. And then it took another about 5 minutes for them to do anything.
I feel like you were just in a very impatient mood.
And then it went on to another long bit. And also, it's like they were acting like dicks throughout the whole film. It's like they were eating their food without being told and all of that.
Yeah, they were honouring, like, all of it was a very exaggerated expanse look at family.
I mean, I get that. I get that. I mean, I get why the people did it, but the people eating their food without being...
Because the elders...
elders.
Yeah,
exactly. No, I'm saying, listen. Yeah, but if they eat without being told, then surely they should be getting in trouble for it.
Who ate without being told?
He ate the pie and then he looked and found a pube in it.
And then what
no one
happened
else was
to him?
eating.
Well, yeah.
He got stuffed in a
died,
bear
but
and
they were
burnt
gonna do
alive.
that
For a
anyway.
reason.
They were going to do that anyway.
Yeah, they were going to do it, but Perry, or whatever his name was, Pelly, whatever he was called, he found the people to take there. So like you said, he scouted them out, and he saw that she was a nice girl, and he saw what Will Poulter was like, and the other two dudes, and was like, yeah, these people are worth sacrificing.
It just felt like they were going to get sacrificed anyway, and yet they still just behaved like they did, and people just let them get away with it.
Well, that was the reason they were there. That's the guy brought the English people there to be sacrificed. That was their purpose. Yeah. And the other guy, he brought the bloodline. He brought her to the community. That was his purpose, and that's why he got honoured at the end. He got the headdress.
And look, at the end, she could have still picked the other guy, the volunteer, to have burnt in the bear suit instead of her own boyfriend. The choice was hers.
That was quite good. When they got the guts and they put him in it, I was like, that's quite... There's moments in this film which they were actually quite good, but
for me, the whole thing worked. Like, just going there, the idea of doing a thesis on this cult, exploring their ways. I was really interested. I was interested to hear about their ways, and like the fact they had this book that was being almost dictated to them by that deformed kid. The ancestral tree, the way they ate, just their customs. I loved it.
Just the pacing and the payoff.
And as well, looking at all the tapestries on the wall in all of like the little buildings, I bet
there's going to be meaning to that shit.
It's something that happens in the film. I bet everything
it must
there.
Be.
Watching that film again, and it's like scrolling through all that tapestry and seeing it all. I bet it's like, oh yeah, there you go. That's the thing that happened.
Yeah.
And the English guy being blood eagled, that was brilliant.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah, they do it in Hannibal.
Yeah, it's an old like Viking ritual where they basically smash open your ribcage from your back and pull your lungs out your back like a pair of wings. That's called blood.
I feel like there was probably a lot of...
Do you not remember in Hannibal when they did it, Ben? The TV series.
Yeah.
I only know that well from
Vikings.
The actual Vikings show, yeah.
I was going to say, there's probably a lot of mythology that's stolen from lots of different groups and cults through the years in this.
Yeah, 100%.
And put into one place. I mean, honestly, it was just a feeling. It was just a whole feeling from the whole film. I'll tell you one thing, though, Adam.
What?
At the end, when the film ended, because nowadays, ever since we started doing this podcast, whenever I'm watching a film, like halfway through, I start giving it a score. It's like a curse now doing this podcast, because everything I give a score while I'm watching. But at the end, I'm like, right, this is going to make it a 9 or a 10, a 9 or a 10. And when it ended, I was like, I think that's a 9. But I needed some time.
Yeah.
I don't remember the song. I had to give it some time and thought, and I was like, no, that's a 10. I get it. I get it now. It's something you have to get.
That's the thing. I just don't think I got the film.
The beauty of it is that once you come out of this film, it's a film that you do not stop thinking about. You think about all the little
100%.
elements from it. This is how I felt with Us as well. Like, you come out thinking, trying to make sense of it in your head, like all the time, thinking about that little bit. How does this make sense of this part? And it's like, there's films you come out of, and it's like, okay, done, seen it.
Yeah.
But this is worthy of being studied.
I will never forget this. Never. She was absolutely incredible. Probably one of the best performances I've seen in years in cinema. Years. She was fucking incredible.
Very good.
And I was very glad it is a breakup revenge movie.
I see what you mean, where you're going with that.
His whole thing throughout,
a little bit more.
Oh yeah, it is, but it's hard. But like, Ari Aster came up with the idea of this film after going through a really bad breakup. He's gone on the record as saying that, and we're presented with a situation right at the beginning of the film where something really horrible happens to this person, and it's no coincidence that in those opening 10 minutes, she makes the phone call to him, and we see that. We could have not had him in that opening 10 minutes and then just had him being shit afterwards. But they intrinsically link him to her in those opening 10 minutes. And her grief it's prolonged and made so much worse because of how he is and how he treats her. Because he's worse than someone who just breaks up with her immediately or breaks up with her a month later. He's worse because he holds on to her throughout it and just keeps her at an arm's length, but tethers her to him. He deserved it.
Yeah.
I was so glad when he got what he got at the end. I was glad.
Yeah.
I felt bad for the guy from The Good Place. I liked him. I didn't like to see him go.
Which guy was that?
The black guy. I don't know his name.
Oh, is he from The Good Place? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I recognised him a little bit, but I
I
haven't seen
he
that
looks
series. But I've
totally
seen him
different.
pop up.
I know. I don't watch The Good Place. I recognise that he's.
Is he
from
like
it.
a geeky looking guy in Good Place?
Very geeky? Yeah. He
Yeah,
looks totally different in this, eh?
Yeah.
He looks about 10 years younger as well. But I cannot wait to see this. Like Ari Aster, right? You didn't like Hereditary either, Adam. So
No, I
maybe
didn't.
this director's not for you. I enjoyed Hereditary, and this upped
The thing
it
is,
for me.
as a director, I think the film, well, like I said, well directed and edited and all that kind of stuff, like the technical side of it. But it was just let down by the pacing and the payoff. I don't think was good enough. Maybe if I watched the film again, knowing what I'm getting myself into, I might look at it from a different view. But
You'd
again,
hate
I
it
just
even
think
more,
I'll be bored. I think I'd probably hate it more. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
If
think
you
you're
felt,
never
if
going
you
to watch
felt
it
it was
again.
slow, if you felt it was slow watching it for the first time, you're not going to think it's fast going the second time. But yeah, with Hereditary, I did enjoy it. I was enjoying Hereditary, but then it kind of lost itself coming towards the end and like a little bit in the middle. I wanted something better from it. It was a supernatural
I
part
agree.
at the end that ruined it for me. But
Yeah.
but this, I was so glad it kept itself grounded and human, and it was. I really enjoyed it. Really, it was a million times better than Hereditary.
Yeah, significantly.
Mm.
But you can see, like, you can allow it because you know that directors and filmmakers need to like sort of find their way, and you could allow Hereditary if it paves the way for films like this, because it's like someone exploring, grappling with their work, testing the waters, what works, what doesn't.
Yeah.
I loved it, man.
One thing I'm very glad of for this podcast episode is that Adam hasn't, like, every 2 minutes or 30 seconds he hasn't gone.
Oh yeah, then some of the noises, yeah.
Because that's all he was
Hereditary
doing in
was
the Hereditary.
clicking.
It was clicking.
Yeah. I
And
did
it's
fall
also
asleep.
a much scarier sound than the clicking from Hereditary.
Yeah, it is.
I quite liked it. I came out doing it afterwards.
You must have been fucking a pleasure to be around then.
Did you go see this film by yourself?
I went by myself, yeah.
People would have been ducking and avoiding you if you came up making noises like that by yourself. Oh man, listen, I loved it. It was like
I'm glad
deep
you did.
psychological traumatic horror with like a bit of humour, and it was just mental by the end. In many ways, it was kind of like why I like Devil's Rejects so much, because Devil's Rejects is just a bit just fucking batshit.
Yeah, totally.
Although this is deeper than Devil's Rejects, don't get me wrong. I prefer Devil's Rejects, but it still has that extremity.
Which one do you think's more gory?
Well, in actually this, because Devil's Rejects has a lot of blood, but this is more gory.
But with Devil's Reject, it's in keeping with the film. This doesn't feel like when you're watching the tone of the film. The tone of film in this, it stands out to me more. It's more, you remember it more because the film doesn't really
That's
the style
right.
of the film doesn't lend itself to it. Whereas if you're watching Devil's Reject, a grindhouse film,
Yes.
gore's just gore because
And it
As much as you
contrasts
can.
like the beauty, the white crispness of their clothes, the beautiful green
Yeah.
grass, the warm weather. To then see something like that is really jarring.
And can I say as well, for this actress, the lead actress, when she
I
was
loved her
high,
so much.
when she was high, that scene when
Yes.
she first took the drugs, that was so believable, and I felt high myself, like claustrophobic, like, oh, this
Yes,
is actually
yeah.
scary.
It's like you
This
in
is
Amsterdam.
this is how you feel. It's horrible.
It made me think of the time that we were in Amsterdam. When we were in Amsterdam, for all our listeners, myself and Paul had this really weird trip where we were like connected in our feelings about
Mental.
what was going on. It was weird as fuck. It's impossible to describe. But every now and then, a film or a TV show just gets a little
Glimpse of
light
it
shone
back.
on what it was like, and that was kind of it as well.
Yeah, it was very well done. She did a very good job. Like just
She
the whole
did.
thing of the people laughing at her, and it was like,
Yeah.
it wasn't necessarily them laughing at her, but it felt like They were laughing at her.
Yeah. When she turned around, and like his face when she went up to him, and he was like, "Oh, they're not. I'm sure they're not laughing at you." And then as she turns around, his mouth just contorts.
Yes.
Oh.
And they like throughout the film, there was little parts when they've just taken the drug when they've like morphed people's faces, and it's so subtle, but it just doesn't look right.
Yes,
and it's like horrible.
I feel part of the reason why I gave it a 6. If you think about it now, I mean, I hated it that much, but I just felt like I was annoyed because it let me down. I think I was a bit of hate and filled in my 6 because I enjoyed it so much at the beginning, and then it just let me down. That annoyed me.
Well, you know what I can understand is expecting a certain film after that opening, because it isn't that film. After those first 10-15 minutes, I was like, shit, this is going to be heavy shit. But then it isn't heavy. It isn't really heavy. It's heavy, but
in another sort of way.
In another sort of way, yeah. And I'm glad it wasn't, actually, because like if it had maintained that energy throughout, that would have been one dark fucking film.
Yeah.
That opening was so dark, mate. So fucking dark. And
her screaming through the phone was so like
when she was
ingrained in your brain, horrible.
When she was on the sofa and she screamed, that was terrifying.
When she was making that noise down the phone, I thought, oh shit, we've got a demon's in play. Because it sounded like like some sort of ghoul or something.
So you heard the scream, and then the person turned on the mirror, and in the flash, you saw the flash in the background of that person, didn't you? Standing.
Yes, that was strange. Actually, who was that person meant to be?
I think it might have just been one of the people in the film.
Yeah.
But again, it led me to believe that there was going to be supernatural or some type of demons or some type of.
I think she was just seeing her family. Yeah, that's her demons. Yeah.
Yeah, but she saw her mum in the crowd as well, and she was getting the...
Exactly. The bottom line is she lost a family. She lost her family at the beginning, and she gained a family at the end. And I like the horrible beauty of how she did that.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for her. Yeah, I'm happy for her. He was an absolute prick. And his acting was very good. And didn't you think, oh my God, constantly when I was watching this movie, I'm like,
Seth Rogen.
Is this Seth Rogen? Yeah.
Yes,
Seth Rogen.
Yes, I thought exactly that.
So bad, he looked like him.
It was Seth Rogen with a hint of like Kit Harington, I think.
And someone else. It's someone else. He looks so much like someone else. I'm trying to think who. Oh, fuck it.
But he looks like a poor man, Seth Rogen.
What's he been in? Has he been in anything else that we know?
I recognise him, but I don't know.
The only thing you've seen him in is Free Fire. That's the only thing.
Oh my God!
Yes! The guy with the glasses and the hat.
Oh wow! Yes, it is.
And I remember thinking he looked like Seth Rogen then as well. Oh shit!
That's why I recognise him. Well done. That is it.
Well, look, I cannot wait to see this film. I'm going to snap this one up on Blu-ray. I cannot wait to watch it again.
I'm definitely going to watch it again.
Very happy you enjoyed it.
This one's going to take some beating. It really is. And look, for me, this year is already better than last year, because last year I gave 3 9s, and this year I've already given a 10 and 2 9s. So, and we got 6 months left.
I've only given one film a 10 this year, and that was Guava Island.
Oh right, I see. Away from the pods, yeah.
I haven't. There's this film for me this year for me personally. Watching new films, I don't think I found anything I really like. All
right, Adam, come on. So you're 6. Where would you position it in terms of The House That Jack Built and Shazam?
Oh, it's well above both of them. I feel quite bad now. I put it in the same category as them.
Yeah, well, see, foolish. And Paul, better or worse than Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Better.
Very good. It kills me a little bit that it's not right up the top. It kills me to see, I've got to admit, Avengers Endgame and Infinity War above something like this, boys. That's hugely disappointing to me.
In my head, sometimes it does as well, because this film did more to it. It just failed for me because of what it did. But again, it's somewhat a better film than them.
Adam, you enjoyed Captain Marvel more than Midsommar.
Well, I gave Captain Marvel 7.
Yes, you did.
Oh, you're a disgrace, Adam.
I should never have given Captain Marvel a 7. That's probably like a 6
concrete
or a 5.
now. You can't change it.
I know, it's
5
concrete.
Or a 6.
Yeah, it should have been a 5. I shouldn't have given it a 6, looking back at it. And Shazam, I shouldn't have given a 6. I've been too lenient on movies. I'm going to be a grump for the second half of this year now. Totally going to be a grump.
You're going to be a grump on the wrong films, though.
I know. The Irishman, I'll be going as a fucking 2. Anyway, let's wrap this up.
That was lovely. I really enjoyed that film.
I love that
sorry,
film so
sorry,
much.
Adam, that you liked Captain Marvel.
I'm sorry
more,
that
but,
my
you
anger
know,
of the film brought your scores down.
You really enjoyed Captain Marvel, though, didn't you?
I hated it. I actually
Adam.
hate Captain Marvel more now since Endgame because I feel like, she was more of a throwaway again.
Adam is a very
That's a whole
unique
other kettle.
specimen.
That's
He
a whole
could be
kettle.
he could be quite beautiful with his choices and the films that he likes, and he can be quite dreadful.
I watched
a
Ghostbusters
monster.
2 yesterday for the first time, Ben, and I gave that a 7.
The first
Well,
time.
Yeah, I've never seen Ghostbusters 2.
I've seen that's been on your watch list on Now TV for ages. You are giving that a 7. I should smack the shit out of you, man.
Paul
Fuck
gave it
me.
a 6, alright? So let's not attack me here.
Listen,
Neither
neither of you
I've
grew
already
up with
told
that
you
shit.
why I
That's
don't like
why.
film.
That is why. I was watching this film, I was
That
like,
is-
Ben's
that is
only
why.
giving this film a 10 because you grew up with it.
Yeah, I grew
But
up with it.
I hate what's his name in it. So
Who?
the bad guy, he annoys me so much.
Are you fucking
Oh, yeah,
kidding
he
me?
was quite annoying.
Yeah, I hate him.
Annoying.
Hate his face. Hate his
No.
face.
Oh man, you two. I'm not talking to you about Ghostbusters.
He had a hateable face I wanted to punch.
He was a
lot.
villain.
Yeah, but like,
Nah, you boys are messed up. You done wrong.
He's ugly. He's ugly.
Go back and enjoy Jurassic Park: Fallen Kingdom.
I hate when his face moves in the picture.
I hate it every time anything moves in Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
You know what you did love in Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom?
I didn't love anything. You two,
You love the dinosaur in the fire.
I hated him.
No, you liked it.
That's
You
the
said
only
it.
thing that made me feel an emotion. That's the only
Yes.
bit.
So you did like it, yes?
That's the only thing I liked, and I gave Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom 3, and the only reason I give it 3 was because of that scene. 100%.
we're starting a whole nother battle here that's going to go on again for a whole nother podcast if we carry on.
No. This is how wrong Adam can be sometimes. Like he makes some wonderful calls.
Ben.
3
Ben.
billboards, 9. That's fine. Very good.
Ben,
8 for
admit-
Buster Scruggs. What?
Admit Ghostbusters 2 isn't actually a good film.
I enjoy it like hell. It's fantastic.
It's very enjoyable, but as an
For me-
actual film, it's not very good.
Yeah, but listen. What did you give? Listen. What did you give Ghostbusters?
The original, I gave it a 9.
Okay, I give Ghostbusters a 10. Ghostbusters is definitive. That is cinema for me. I wanted to be a Ghostbuster growing up. So for me, why would I not enjoy seeing the Ghostbusters come back 5-6 years later and do their thing?
Totally understandable.
It's not a reboot. It's not 20-25 years later made all sassified and shit like that. It's the same guys doing the same fucking thing.
Busting
and it
ghosts.
relies on slime massively. The toaster dances to the song. The Statue of Liberty walks. Janosch works at the museum. There's a river of slime under New York. There's the bathtub tongue. What's not to like?
I hate that Statue of Liberty bit as well.
I love it.
That was quite funny. I quite enjoyed
No.
that bit.
No,
That was, but at that point in the film, it got ridiculous. So that was just another.
Listen, you boys are children of the 90s. I'm a child of the 80s. You guys are like Ace Ventura. I like Ghostbusters.
Oh my god, I was about to say Ace Ventura!
Exactly.
I love Ace Ventura.
Exactly.
And I love The Mask. I'm
Yes.
a Jim Carrey kid, to be honest.
Even about the son of the mask.
No, that's the worst film I've ever seen.
No, Paul, you've got it in your collection on Steelbook.
What, The Son of the Mask?
Yeah,
No, I've looked for it, they ain't got it, mate.
I saw it.
Thank you guys for watching. You can get in
Thanks
touch
so
with
much.
us at-
Thanks so much for that.
Well, you're not going to say anything, you're just going to interrupt
You're
and
just
then
going to cut him up.
immediately stop as soon as I stop, yeah?
Go on.
You can get in touch with us at filmbusterspod@outlook.com.
Yeah, nobody will send
Yeah.
us an email.
No one
Everyone
says
just
No,
tweets
they
us.
won't.
anywhere.
So
Have you ever had an email?
That is your opportunity to give us an email if you never get emails, because you can get featured on the next episode. But you can also get
Yeah.
in touch with us at Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at FilmBustersPod. And we also have our lovely website, which is www.filmbusterspod.co.uk. And we also have our individual personal accounts. I'm at FilmBustersPaul.
Why can't you just record this once and place it in every one? So I
Because
don't
we
have to
don't have these
say
lovely,
this
like,
every time.
These lovely angry statements from you.
Yeah.
Because I'm at FilmBusters Adam.
And I'm at Filmbusters Ben.
And that is FilmBusters.
Can I make a request, please, to
No.
just close this podcast out?
Yes.
I'm not going to listen to this until I'm off on holiday next week. So I'm going to listen to this while I'm in the shower, showering.
On the
probably.
evening?
Send me a message that I can hear while I'm on holiday from you both.
Have a wonderful holiday, Ben. I hope you're enjoying the sunshine and I hope you're enjoying your cocktails. Don't get too drunk and be sensible.
Now look how nice Adam was, and Paul
Okay,
just like
I'm
so
gonna
cynical.
say-
That's
I'm
so
gonna
lovely,
say-
Adam. Thank you very much.
I hope while you're in the shower, Jenny accidentally walks in, flushes the toilet, and then you get scalding hot water all poured all over you. How about that?
Look, this isn't a 1970s loft conversion in New York, mate.
Where are
I
you
go to the
going?
high
Say, who
society
the fuck has
places.
a toilet
Where are
like
you
that?
going?
Crete.
Yeah, they don't flush toilet roll down the toilets there.
Yeah,
No, they
definitely-
don't. That's a reminder. I just remembered that. Oh shit, yeah. Oh no.
You're gonna have to throw it in the
I
little
remember
bin next to the toilet.
that. That's true. Oh, how greasy! What a greasy situation.
Oh, in the
that
sunshine.
is. In that heat, lovely.
You just ruined his holiday for him now. He's going to remember this conversation halfway through it, looking
No,
at that bin
no, I
with
won't.
shitting.
I'm going down to the sea now. I'm getting in the water, splashing.
You just had a shower, now
Get
you're going to
stung
get
by
in
the
the water.
jellyfish.
Surely you've just
Watch
come
out
out
for the
sea.
sharks.
I shower before I go in the water to make it clean for the sharks.
And that plastic pollution.
Anyway, I've had enough of this.
FilmBusters.